Ireland, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So international crews always really exciting to see. So more of that to be expected on the 27th at the Upset.
Yeah. Great job to you guys for bringing it home during those crews.
It's true.
That was
Yeah,
really nice.
it was brought home. Yeah. Shout outs to Frenzy for that. He was the MVP for sure.
He do be tall. He do be good.
Yeah.
But we have started with GG against Sharp, which is actually gonna be the exciting matchup of Puff against Peach. Not a matchup that it's gonna take 2 minutes and it's gonna be a lot of shines and a lot of crazy things happening, but it's a matchup that's really interesting to analyze, in my opinion, in terms of like two floaties. So Puff obviously back air. Peach obviously has got the projectiles, which is definitely like quite something that they want to use as much as possible, but you have to manage. Not Puff getting the advantage on the stage positioning. So it's really a war of like who has as much stage positioning as possible, and like there's this thing where like both characters have like are not really fast, and I have a hard time punishing some things like rolls and stuff like that. So at least in some situations. So I'm really interested to see how those two players played, especially GG, since they decided to use the Puff.
Yeah, for sure. So just to put this into context, before coming to this match, Sharp won 3-1 against Villani, another Puff. So Sharp's going to have that experience. He's going to be like warm versus Jigglypuff. Though maybe a little bit too warm because it can be a tiring matchup. So you don't want to be getting drained, getting flustered, making bad mistakes. I would say GG probably has a different playstyle to Villani. So we'll have to see how that comes to life. Yeah, as you're saying, a lot of contesting for stage position, and I think like the verticality in this matchup makes it pretty interesting because a lot of times like Jigglypuff just has this back air that's just like almost unbeatable on like a horizontal level. So like you need to be contemplating how can you counteract that? You need to disrupt it. You need to come from another level. You need to be within that reach. And these are the kind of questions you have to ask yourself when you're playing as Peach against Jigglypuff.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point to bring up. That even though they just played a Puff player, the likes of Villani, it's always really weird to like play someone else that plays the same character, but is obviously not going to have the same playstyle. It always takes a bit to adapt. But for the moment, they seem to be doing pretty well, although the up air is almost going to kill on the top platform. GG not scared to use that up air, and again, great confirm. It's actually a true confirm that drill up smash if you do it well enough. So definitely got those on deck. Always nice to see.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Ooh, bit of a scary roll there for Sharp. Gets away with it.
Ooh, trying to shark for and also Puff has that rest, and Peach doesn't really have like tools to punish it really hard.
Yeah.
It's I don't actually, well, I'm not an expert on Peach Puff, and I'm not a Peach expert, but I don't really know what's the best thing to do against a rested Puff, basically.
Yeah, like you don't have amazing options, to be honest. Like for like percent building, there's like shenanigans you can try and do, like drop turnip, nair them into a turnip, and then like nair again and stuff like that. But it's pretty hard to set up. Depends on how they DI the turnip, stuff like that. So a lot of times you end up just see people just like, do a forward air or something, and that's all you get. It's like it's not amazing.
Yeah, because unfortunately that up smash just doesn't, it just gets a soft state on the rested Puff, which is unfortunate because that could have been really what could help Peach. I'm interested. It's interesting to see that Sharp doesn't like. He prefers keeping stage positioning over throwing turnips to like. He prefers to kind of be a bit more aggressive on Puff, try to trade as much as possible, and once they get them off stage. That's when they pull the turnip and try to capitalize off of those projectiles, which I think is interesting and it's not something I've seen from Peaches.
Given how effectively like GG has been counteracting the turnips, and you know how effectively Jigs can counteract turnips with just trading with any of her aerials, honestly, or catching, or just ducking, or whatever. Like I think it makes sense to prioritize stage position over pulling the turnip, for sure. So I like that choice from Sharp.
Yeah, Sharp has been showing us some great things in this tournament. I didn't I didn't really know about them, but maybe that's my own fault. But it's great to see a good Peach.
Ooh,
That
could
was-
have
that
been a
was-
scary situation there for Sharp, but
Yeah.
managed to get back over.
I mean, both of those characters have amazing recoveries, and it's really hard for them to edgeguard each other. But Puff definitely has what it takes to, bring Peach to the end of the stage. But that's gonna be it for Sharp taking it 1-0 over GG. Although that
Yeah.
was extremely close.
For
Well,
sure.
extremely
And to be
close.
honest, slightly sketchy DI there on the end, which caused
Unfortunately,
GG
yeah.
to die. So yeah, might not have gone that way with different DI, but yeah.
GG definitely has the time. I mean, as you said, it's a really taxing matchup. It's not a matchup that goes by very quickly. The bigger the maps, the more taxing it is. We started on a pretty. I mean, I think that's a classic starter for this matchup. Battlefield.
Yeah.
We'll see how GG does. Does he kind of pick a map and a character? Does he, do they kind of pick a map and a character? Do they kind of pick just the map? It's interesting. It's interesting. I think Sharp is going to stay on their Peach. I don't think there's any reason for them to change. They've been doing well
Yeah.
against Puff.
I mean, I totally get everything you're saying about. I think the Zelda is just the Yoshi story pick. That's what I'm starting to think now. I think it's not necessarily, oh, I can't play this matchup on the stage against Puff. It's just that they want to play Zelda on Yoshi story. So when their opponent picks Yoshi story, they pick Zelda.
That's interesting.
What I was going to say about this matchup is it's not like you're a, Jigs Fox main and you can be like, oh, well, I don't really want to play this slow matchup, so I'm going to switch to Fox to play the fast matchup. Like, Zelda and Peach is not much of a faster matchup than Jigs Peach.
True.
Like, might go a bit quicker on this stage because you got Yoshi's story, but like, it's also a pretty slow, grindy float matchup.
Yeah, and you're giving up your top tier character for a character that is has been. We've seen a lot of tier lists going around lately. It's not a character that's very high on the tier list in 2021 at least. If she presses down B, it's a whole different thing. But unfortunately, that's not what. Well, fortunately, I don't know. That's not what seems to be the plan for GG. Mr. Saturn could have been a bit scary, but already out of play.
Yeah, no, Sharp looks pretty confident here, to be honest. I feel like this was a pick motivated by whims and desires more than perhaps strategic game plan.
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean,
that might be reflected in the score of this match, but
as you said, they like to have fun. They seem to be, as you said, also liking their Yoshi Zelda counter pick, which is always interesting for us and for everyone watching. It's not a character you see often, but Sharp doesn't seem to have any issues with that Zelda. Pulling a lot of fun turnips too.
yeah.
Although they don't want
that and Anabomb on today.
Yeah.
One game.
They don't seem to want to hold on to them. Probably more of an issue that could be used against them than anything. And a first stock for GG. Oh, and that's unfortunate.
Oh, okay. I think that they just got punished by landing on Randall, which changed which up B they got. They didn't get the in-air up B, they got the standing up B, and that made the timing of when they needed to release the control stick to do the angle different, and then just up B to their death.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe not the one. Maybe the Zelda isn't like, the high level counter pick to Peach. If you don't want to play Puff versus Peach.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like they have their own reasons for picking Zelda. And
I respect it, honestly.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
respect it.
We play the game for our own reasons. Some people want to be the best, some people want to have fun, some people want to mix of both.
Yeah,
good.
definitely Zelda. I mean, we've seen Armada in his time counter pick Young Link against the likes of Jigglypuff. I think another one of the choices would have been what's his name? Game & Watch, but Zelda was not on the list, unfortunately. So let's see what GG does, because it's a 2-0 at this point. They go back to Puff, which is the sensible choice to try to win at least.
Yeah.
So nothing is it. They don't seem to have lost everything in terms of motivation.
No,
It's
not
always
at all.
good.
No,
think
I
that's
don't think GG is the sort of person who would be fazed by that happening at all.
Yeah, which is it's really nice to see, because I think mentality-wise, a lot of melee players have it really rough. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure to perform, and people have really high standards. But GG really definitely proving to have a different mentality. That's always really refreshing.
Mm.
Ooh, and that up air was actually really sneaky. Mixing it up with the back air, going under, but unfortunately not gonna kill not be able because that would have been really nice for them. 22%. But Sharp is gonna be able to build a bit more percentage now. All right. Are you still having issues with the Sleepy?
Yeah, it's getting a little bit behind for me, so I have to catch up, but we'll make do. Apologies, everyone. Sorry if it's bothering you during my broadcast.
I could stream my screen if you prefer. It's as you wish. We're not in a Discord call. But,
yeah, thank you though. So yeah, Sharp lead in this game, very much like in the first game, I would say. But just a matter of a rest will turn it around, or just a few good back airs, Wall of Pain, catch Peach. Obviously, yes, she has such a good recovery, but like you take away those resources from her, that's where you got to think about it. Peach having the resources, the double jump, the float, and the up B. You take away those first two, you can always get ledge hog, and there's a rest 0 and a star KO. So no punish there on the rest at all.
Yeah. Falling up air rest is not something you see often, especially against Peach, but definitely made it work for them. It's really nice. And there's a glimpse of hope for GG right there.
Yeah.
And they probably are someone, if I understand correctly, that probably actually really plays off of that. If they don't get down too much on themselves in a losing situation, then a glimmer of hope like that will definitely be to their advantage.
Yeah. I think they're definitely still playing to win. You can see from the way that they're playing in the corner and making use of the ledge and everything. One of the things I love about the way that GG plays is they're just making great use of Pound, which is just an absolute noob Jigglypuff option. You know, like so many Jigglypuffs just pound out the corner and get absolutely bodied 4x. It's so tempting and so juicy. But they've been using it all bad the eye there again. But they've been using it just the right times and finding big opportunities. I remember against Silo, like one of the big games was cracked open because of a Pound just leading into a edge guard. So yeah, finding the opportunity to use that huge risk but huge potential reward move. It's been working out well for them.
Yeah, it's definitely, as you said, really tempting to use that move because it puts you in such an advantageous position. But I think GG definitely has like that playstyle of like, I'm a bit unorthodox and I don't play exactly like people tend to play the character, and I have my own gimmicks and I've studied my own, studied my own things, and I think that's always really interesting. That's definitely going to throw off some people. And for the moment, they seem to have taken, they seem to have made it even actually against Sharp, which is really nice to see. We didn't want to have a complete blowout in this final.
Ooh, yeah, Sharp trying to push into the corner. GG finds that empty land grab, but then down.
He didn't go for the mix-up up air this time. Really wanted that back air to the side. It would have been so nice, so juicy.
Sharp did the eye up though, getting out of that. Now it's kind of scary percent. Either of them could die pretty soon. Maybe Peach got another 20% in her, depending on the stage position. But GG in a very scary spot here.
Didn't get down in time to shield. Definitely wanted to power shield. Maybe up smash that.
Stitch just goes straight through GG there.
Hopefully something that's not going to bother them too much. And yeah, it's...
GG's
all right, 30 killing the corner. All right, that was a bit... Oh, and again, that DI. Unfortunate.
I can't tell if GG was committing to a read with that F smash, or if they were going for some sort of drop through and trying to get an aerial, but ends up inputting an F smash by accident. But either way, I think that spelled doom for them, and that's a 3-1 there to 3-0 there to Sharp, right?
Yeah, 3-0 for Sharp. If I had to guess, I think that was a misinput on the forward smash, because that would have been like an insane read. But unfortunately, again, that unfortunate DI again costing the game, although that one was a bit different.